Welcome to the part 2 of Raspberry Pi setup. So the very first thing that we need to do is to download a very good SSH client. So I normally use Bitwise SSH client. So let us go ahead and download this thing. This is the link. In case you are wondering where you can find the link, you will be able to find it in the description section down below. Let's go and visit this link. And here is the installer. Let's download it. It is going to take quite a while to download this thing, so I'm going to fast forward this. So the installation file has been downloaded. Let's go ahead and install the Bitwise SSH client. It is going to ask us for admin privileges. Agree that and click install. Yeah, it says now Bitwise SSH client 7.3.5 installation completed. Press OK. And this is the Bitwise SSH client. Next step in the setup is to know the IP address of the Raspberry Pi device connected to our local Wi-Fi network. There are several ways to accomplish this. The best way is to know this IP address from the active client table of the router. So in order to do that, open a browser and type in the IP address of your router. So in my case, the IP address of my Wi-Fi router is 192.168.2.1. So in case of your router, it might be different. You need to refer the manual for the IP address as well as the username and password. So type in the password and click login. Once you log in, click the active client table option in the status. Here you will find an entry corresponding to Raspberry Pi where you will be able to see its IP address as well as its MAC address. Just copy the IP address and note it down for the further use. Let us connect to the Raspberry Pi remotely using the Bitwise SSH client. For that, we are going to require the IP address that we have noted earlier. Copy this IP address and paste it into the host field here. The default username of any Raspberry Pi Raspbian operating system is Pi. So after making all these entries, just click login. Whenever you are going to log in to Raspberry Pi Raspbian operating system, first time remotely from any other host, so there will be an exchange of host keys between these two computers. And this is going to be only one-time process, and you will see this message only once if you click accept and save. And the default password for Raspberry Pi is Raspberry. Click OK. And thus you have logged into Raspberry Pi remotely. So now we can see two windows on the screen. One is the SSH window and the other is the window which enables the SFTP. SFTP stands for Secure File Transfer Protocol. You can copy the files to and fro between Raspberry Pi and your computer. So as of now we are not going to need it. So let us close this window of SFTP and let us focus more on the terminal window. So this is the terminal of Raspberry Pi. We have accessed it earlier for enabling the SSH. This time we are accessing it remotely very first time. So let us go ahead and check what is next in the checklist. So the next thing is we need to have a tour of raspiconfig in detail. So let's have a tour of raspiconfig. Raspiconfig is a utility which can be used to configure the Raspberry Pi. Type sudo raspiconfig to invoke the raspiconfig utility. Press enter and you will be taken to raspiconfig utility. So here you can change the user password. Okay, so you can just like keep any password of your choice. Okay, so this is how you can change the password. You can even change the hostname. These are the rules of the hostname. So I'm going to keep the hostname as it is as of now because there is no need to change the hostname. Let us check the boot options now. So here in the boot options, we can set how we can log in to the Raspberry Pi. There are 4 options. So the first option refers to console. It means that it will log into the console and it will prompt you for the password. The second option is console auto login. It will automatically log into the console. So the console is nothing but the terminal. Third option is log into the desktop with password, and the final option is automatic login to the desktop. So by default it is always desktop auto login. So we are not going to touch it as of now. We will keep it as it is. Fourth option is the localization option. Here you can set the layout for the keyboard as well as the time zone. So just go to change local and then choose EN_US. So you will find it here. Yes, and choose the UTF-8 as the default character set because this is going to be the easier way. And say OK. Then next we are going to change the time zone. So as of now I am in India, so I am going to choose Asia. So it is asking us to select the country, city or region corresponding to your time zone. So I am in Kolkata, so let's check if it is there. Yeah, Kolkata is there, so I am going to choose Kolkata. Finally, I am going to change the Wi-Fi country. So it should be India. Then we are going to check for the interfacing options. So in the earlier tutorial, we have already changed the enablement of the SSH. SSH is disabled by default, so we enabled it last time. We can even enable VNC. VNC is used for remote desktop. And let's keep other options in the default state. We are not going to need them as of now. Let's choose back. There are few advanced options that we need to have a look at. Expand the file system. So this is going to expand the file system and make all the SD card accessible to the user. So go ahead and select it. And it says the root partition has been resized. The file system will be enlarged upon the next reboot. Let's have a look at the other options. We are going to have a look at memory split. So as of now it is using 64 MB of memory for displaying for usage for GPU, because the memory of or the RAM of Raspberry Pi is shared between CPU and GPU. As of now it is using 64 MB. We can make it 128 MB and say OK. And finally we can update the Raspi config utility itself. So it will go ahead and download required packages for updating the Raspi config utility. And then it is automatically going to upgrade the Raspi config utility. So it is going to take a while. We are going to fast forward this part. it seems to have updated the Raspi config utility. Finally, we are going to finish this setup. So once the setup is done, we can reboot the system with sudo reboot -h now. This is going to reboot the system. So as the system is rebooting, it will be disconnected from the SSH client. We'll wait for a while for the system to reboot, and then we are going to connect it again. So let us try to connect to Raspberry Pi again. Okay, we are back online again. Let us close the SFTP window and let us close all the other windows which are not needed. So now we are going to require to update the Raspberry Pi. So the first thing that we need to update is the firmware. So it can be updated with command sudo rpi update. So this is going to take quite a while. So I'm going to fast forward this part. So it seems to have finished updating the firmware. It says a reboot is needed to activate the new firmware. So we are not going to reboot as of now. We have a couple of more things to update. So the next command that we are going to use is sudo apt-get space update. Sudo apt-get update. This is going to download the packages list from the respective remote repositories and update them in the local computer so that the information on the newest version of the packages and their dependencies is available for the installation and the update. So it seems to have updated the package list. Finally, we are going to upgrade. So for that, the command is sudo apt-get dist update upgrade -y. So when we are going to say -y, it is not going to prompt for yes or no. It will automatically go ahead and install whatever is needed. So let's press enter and see what happens. So it is going to take quite a while. So we are going to fast forward this part. The upgrade seems to have completed. Now we are going to have a look at how to connect to Raspberry Pi with remote desktop. So for that, we need to install a utility known as XRDP. We can install it by sudo apt-get install XRDP. So it stands for remote desktop protocol. So RDP stands for remote desktop protocol and XRDP is the implementation of it on the Linux operating system. Just hit enter and it is going to ask us whether to install it. Just say yes, press enter. So it is going to take quite a while to update and upgrade and install this utility to your Raspberry Pi. So we are going to just fast forward this part. XRDP package has been installed. Finally, we have to reboot the system. So this is going to disconnect the SSH window. Let us wait for some time and let us try to log in again. So we have logged in again to the Raspberry Pi. Now we are going to try to log in to Raspberry Pi using remote desktop. So for connecting to Raspberry Pi's desktop remotely, we use remote desktop. So for that, there is a client built in Windows operating system. It is known as remote desktop connection. Remote desktop connection. You can just go to the search bar and type remote and it will show the couple of options. So just go ahead and choose the first option, remote desktop connection. So this is an app which helps us to connect to Raspberry Pi or to any other remote machine where remote desktop protocol is enabled. So we will just go ahead and check the options. See, the IP address is 4 and username is Pi, and let us go ahead and click connect. Okay, just check this box and click the connect. So in case it is connecting the very first time, then it is going to show this window. Just check the don't ask me again for connections to this computer checkbox and click yes and type in the password. So this is the remote desktop connection window of Raspberry Pi. So from here we can remotely access the desktop of Raspberry Pi. So in this tutorial we have seen how to completely set up the Raspberry Pi. I hope you find this tutorial very useful in setting up Raspberry Pi very first time in your life. Thanks a lot. Let me know your thoughts and suggestions in the comment section. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. I will see you next time.